Hello students, my name is Adrian Ryan and I would like to welcome you to the Classics unit of the Department of Biblical and Ancient Studies. In this brief presentation, I will introduce you to our unit and to the majors we offer as part of the general BA degree. Classics as an academic field is a somewhat general term and it covers a variety of different disciplines. What they each have in common is that they are concerned with the study of the ancient Greek and Roman worlds. Exactly how ancient should be defined is a matter of debate, but many consider it to be up to the deposing of the last Roman emperor in the West, Romulus Augustulus, in 476 AD. The classical world, which spanned over 1,000 years up until 476 AD, was the world that gave us Julius Caesar, the world in which the films Gladiator, Alexander, and Clash of the Titans were set, and it is the world that gave birth to the gods that appear in the Percy Jackson series of books and the God of War games. It is also the world that gave birth to and popularized Christianity, and it is the world of the Greek and Latin languages. The most notable of the disciplines that fall under the umbrella term classics are ancient history, ancient philosophy, classical philology, the study of Greek and Roman language and literature. We also have classical archaeology, which often includes architecture and art history, and classical anthropology, which includes the study of religion and mythology. Although each of these disciplines has its own focus, they do overlap quite considerably, and like most universities in the country, the Classics unit at UNISA teaches a mixture of all of them. However, at UNISA we do concentrate on two areas, and we offer these as our two majors. They are ancient history and classical culture. The differences between these two majors is actually quite minor, so they cannot be taken at the same time within the same BA degree. Ancient history, as the name suggests, focuses on military and political history. It doesn't only cover the actual historical events, but also introduces students to the theoretical and methodological tools that historians use to interrogate and interpret ancient evidence. Classical culture, on the other hand, is broader in scope and covers some ancient history, but also art, literature, drama, mythology, and a tiny bit of philosophy. I shall now explain in a bit more detail the structure of the majors offered by our unit. In doing so, I shall not repeat the structure of the general BA degree here, and instead I assume that you have already read the literature and are familiar with the rules. I will rather concentrate only on our majors. At the first level, both of our majors require you to take AHS 1511, which looks at ancient Greek and Roman mythology in its historical context. In addition to this module, ancient history students should also take ANH 1502, which is a more traditional introductory ancient history module, while classical culture students, on the other hand, should also take CLS 1502, which looks more closely at Roman myth and literature and on its reception in the modern world. At second level, the courses taken for both majors are exactly the same. Briefly, CLS 2602 introduces you to the different types of evidence that classical scholars interrogate. It covers historiography, that is, the study of how history was written, and we also look at inscriptions, coins, portraits, and buildings, asking the question, what can these material remains tell us that the literature cannot? The other two modules at second level might be called content modules, as they concentrate on specific historical and cultural topics from the ancient world. Firstly, CLS 2603 examines well-known empires from the ancient world, such as the Persians, the kingdoms of Alexander the Great's successors, and of course, the Empire of Rome. AHS 2611, on the other hand, explores various political, cultural, and historical topics relating to ancient North Africa. This fascinating region offers us a glimpse of a multicultural domain in the periphery of the vast Roman Empire. Finally, at third level, ancient history and classical culture students take the same modules, But some of these modules have both ancient history and classical culture sections, allowing students to concentrate only on the sections that relate to their major. The first of these is CLS 3701, in which both history and culture students study bias and veracity, that is, truthfulness, of the written accounts provided by ancient authors. In addition to questioning how we should treat these imperfect records, we also attempt to inculcate in students a healthy skepticism of the sources we use in the study of the classical world, whether these sources are ancient authors or indeed modern scholars. The modules 3704 and 3705 both offer a choice between topics in ancient history and classical culture. In CLS 3704, ancient history students will look at the Emperor Constantine on the one hand, who ushered in the age of Christianity in the Roman Empire, and on the other, classical culture students will study oral poetry, such as the epic poems of Homer and of Virgil. And in CLS 3705, history students explore the reasons for the decline and fall of the Roman Empire in the West, and the scholarly debate surrounding the topic. And classical culture students will delve into ancient tragedy, focusing on the manner in which Sophocles and Seneca adapted the myth of Oedipus for the stage. Turning now to AHS 3712, a slightly different course from the rest, in that it concentrates on political history. Specifically, it looks at the birth of democracy in classical Athens at the end of the 6th century BC. Here, we not only study the development of Athenian democracy over time, but we also ask abstract questions about the nature of democracy and relate these, where possible, to democracy as it is practiced today. Finally, the course that should absolutely be taken among the last courses in the major is CLS 3706. This is a research essay in which the staff helps students choose their own essay topics. After the students have chosen their topic, they will submit 2 assignments that help build the foundations of the research essay. And finally, we'll submit a research paper that represents the culmination of the degree in both classical culture or ancient history. The aim of this brief introduction was to explain to students, albeit briefly, how our major is structured and what to expect. If you still have further questions, please contact one of our friendly academics. I hope you enjoy your time with us and wish you all the best with your studies. Thank you.